What's up, guys? Today I'll be showing off the new Glitched Hero Hunter Cosmic Extreme Boost. Alright, let's get right into it. Okay, first, let's view Hero Hunter Cosmic Base Form, no modes. So, he has the ability Fusion of God, which on placement means that his SPA cannot be buffed in any which way. And as you may be noticing, his SPA isn't the greatest, but we'll see soon. That can change. Now, also, on upgrade 5, he unlocks Gamma Burst. So whenever a boss enemy enters this unit's range, deal 50 times its unit's damage and apply all these effects off this multiplier. And then Plasma does 3 times damage instead of 1.55 to this boss permanently. So this is going to be a great boss killer unit. His next ability, Godlike Eradication. So every 20 attacks, plus 350% damage, plus 150% SPA, plus 100% crit. And, crit chance for 2 attacks. First attack applies Detonation and Bolt. Second applies Rupture and Unstable. And then, if an enemy has entered Radiation Dead Zone, these attacks will always hit that enemy, even if they are out of range. Now, in upgrade 3, he unlocks Radiation. So, whenever a unit enters his range, deal 25% of the unit's damage every 25 seconds. And then, in the Radiation Dead Zone, upon entering 20% of this unit's range, deal 65% of this unit's damage every second. That is insane. So right now he's on 12 billion. That's just because of his other ability. But 2 billion damage, 65% of that, which is probably around what, 2 billion-ish. Probably more like 1.8 billion. Every second is pretty good. And then any debuffs to this enemy are 50% more effective. Alright, let's get into his modes. So he has 3 different modes: Imitation Gravity, Imitation Baldman, and Imitation Martial Arts. First, let's focus on Imitation Gravity. So, plus 50% damage, plus 50% range, interdimensional travel passage, portal creation active, and nuclear fission gravitational fist active. Boom. So let's look first. Let's find this passive, interdimensional travel. So it requires the, gravity mode. And then so whenever a boss enemy is outside the unit's range, teleport to the closest position to that boss. The boss receives walk back for 10 seconds. After boss is dead, return to his original position. This passive can happen as many times as possible, but only affects one boss at a time. If multiple bosses are alive, target the one closest to the base. So, I'm actually not even too sure what that means. I would assume what it does is that, let's actually wait and see what happens when a boss spawns. I assume he will just teleport right over there and kill him. Not kill him, but make him walk back, teleport, and just damage him, which that'd be really good if that is true. Let's see. Okay, let's take a little. Oh, wait, 40. There's gotta be. Okay, here we go. I don't see him teleporting though. Isn't that the whole point of his ability? I don't know, because it's out of his range, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it would be out of his range. I don't know why it doesn't teleport. Teleport to the close position to that boss. I don't know. I didn't see the boss receive walk back either, but alright, now let's get into his abilities. So first, portal creation, which requires this mode, of course. So whenever it's activated, place a portal on the track. If an enemy enters this portal, the enemy walk back is wave divided by 3 seconds. So they walk back for wave divided by 3. So here we go. We're on wave 45 divided by 3, 15. So, and I can just throw the portal right here. And now, all these enemies will walk back for 15 seconds. So, in long wave game modes, this is going to be actually a really good ability. Yeah, wow, look at that. Oh my god. Well, that's really good. And it's every 60 seconds. They can be affected by the portal up to 10 times as well. Wow. And then, let's look at his final ability for this mode, Nuclear Fission Gravitational Fist, which upon activation for 10 attacks, upon activation, 10 attacks, alternate each attack, minus 25 SPA, plus 100% damage, and different AoEs, and then for each consecutive hit on the same enemy, plus 25% bonus damage up to 250%. If the enemy is hit by all 10 attacks, 10% max HP, maxing out at 2 trillion damage, which, I mean, 2 trillion is a lot, but 10% max HP. Honestly, that'll be pretty good against bosses. And then reduce cooldown by 50 seconds per enemy. Wow. All right, let's use it. And it's going to be hard to see just because these guys aren't insane. But look at that damage. Plus 500%. 16 billion damage. Only promise, yeah, look. Every 20 seconds. But 115% crit chance. Plus 132% crit damage. I mean, that's pretty good. Alright, now let's go on to imitation martial arts. We'll come back to Bald Man later because that one will be big. Alright, so now you have imitation watchdog, and just for you guys to let you know, these modes work on top of each other. So it's not just you have to choose a singular mode. You get to unlock all of them all at once. Not all at once, well, basically, yeah. But let's look. First, Whirlwind Slashing Steel, which requires martial arts, and then follow up with 50% damage to all enemies in range upon landing a crit. So at 15% crit damage, but look, we don't have this right now, but if we get up to that 115%, you can already tell these abilities can really stack on top of each other. But follow up with 50% damage to all enemies, the strongest enemy in range deal 150% of your damage, and if you already have that 500% boost, it'll be massive damage. Deal 0.5% max HP as damage. I mean, 0.5 is honestly nothing. Applies Mutilate on the multiplier of both incidents combined. 9% cooldown. 9%. 9 second cooldown. Ugh. He also gets Watchdog, which gives him plus 200% range, plus 35% damage for 3 attacks. Set AoE to 3 attacks to line. So this is the line AoE. And then crits hit during this mode apply an effect depending on which attack hits hit. So first attack crippled, weakened, exposed, restriction. So as you can already tell, this will be a big debuff unit. Let's look at its other one. Where's the other one that is Godlike Heretic? No, we already had Godlike. Oh, that's all of them. All right. So let's move on to Imitation Baldy. All right. So before we go through Imitation Bald Man, this ability is meant to be used alongside Baldy Deadly Serious. As if we look at this, it does boost 75% damage, 25% range. It gives you consecutive normal punch active, serious punch active, but if Baldy Deadly Serious is in range, give Baldy the passive competitive nature. So first things first, let's actually look here at the passive. What is it called again? Okay. Oh, does it give him that passive? Competitive nature, yeah. So Baldy Deadly Serious and Hero Hunter Cosmic will always have the same base damage and base SPA. So prior towards units with the highest base damage, and then give that, give the other one the exact same. So, boom, boom. Oh, sorry, I don't even know. So the unit with the highest damage will transfer their damage and SPA to the other, overriding their base damage and base SPA. So as you may look here, your first thought is the damage and SPA are just not the same at all. It's because it's the base. So this is plus 210%, and this is minus 30%. So if you got rid of the 210 and minus 30, those two would be the exact same. So now let's look at the abilities. Consecutive normal punches. So requires, of course, Imitation Bald Man. Upon activation, minus 65% SPA, minus 35% damage, line AoE. So look at this, 7.36 billion, SPA of 1 second. He's doing 7.4 billion damage per second. I mean, for every crit, plus 2% damage, crit damage chance, and it's, what, permanent, for this duration. Every 10 crits, deal 500% damage to everyone in the AoE. Then he also has, what is this, Punch Serious. Set AoE cone to cone for 1 attack, plus 5,000% damage for 1 attack. 141 billion damage. That is insane. 141 billion damage. Well, of course. What is it? I mean, of course that makes sense, right? It's basically a nuke. It's basically a nuke. But, I mean, still, great. Now, this unit cannot be set to none. Targeting until the debuff ends. I don't even know what that means. So it has to attack someone until the debuff ends? I don't know, but no, we already have all the modes. Now, let's wait. Well, first off, let's see the buff. Nice little buff to Baldy Deadly Serious. Let me see if is this passive even really necessary? No, I think this pass is just more so buffs Baldy Deadly Serious. So, if you have Baldy Deadly Serious, that's alright. It's not necessary for him. Alright, now let's wait until I have all the abilities at once and see what happens when we combine everything. Alright, now that we have all the abilities, let's see what happens when I click Toggle All Auto. And for a second there, 141 billion. But still, even after doing the 141 billion, he is doing 9.1 billion per second. That is not even counting the crit chance, crit damage. 9.1 billion a second is insane. That's so crazy. Hero Hunter, now 10 billion a second. And that's plus every 5th attack, increased crit damage and crit chance for all units in range by 50% for 15 seconds. So, I mean, he'll be even better when you have other units placed down. I think, yeah, this is one of the best Godlies in the game now. Insane. I'd recommend going and getting them. And thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, like and subscribe. Goodbye.